I'm not even a Joe Biden fan. This is just a good decision that he made. We all know the media loves to love Joe Biden, but recently they've taken a turn. As now, all of a sudden, that Joe Biden has decided to do something bold and actually good, which is pulling out of Afghanistan, the media is in a frenzy trying to demand that Joe Biden go back, trying to attack Joe Biden for not being hawkish enough, and ultimately just being upset that their defense contractor buddies aren't going to be able to make money off of the conflict in Afghanistan anymore. While there's certainly much to criticize in terms of Joe Biden not planning ahead enough or getting enough refugees out of Afghanistan, ultimately, the decision to pull out is a major decision. It's literally ending a 20 years war that is fundamentally a good choice. As a veteran, I can let you know that the war in Afghanistan was all for nothing. The whole purpose was literally for defense contractors to make money. Sure, there was a little bit of a pretense about combating terrorism or whatever, but ultimately that's not what we did. What the United States did was make the Taliban more popular by dropping so many bombs on random places in Afghanistan that the people of Afghanistan saw the Taliban as the only option outside of US imperialism. Just take a look at this headline from CNN. I mean, seriously, does the world really desperately need all of the resources from Afghanistan? And why can't we get those resources through peaceful trade negotiations and not through military conflict? Just because we don't like the Taliban government doesn't give us a right to go in and invade. If we really want to improve conditions for the people of Afghanistan, we need positive trade relations and easy travel between the countries. But no. In the minds of these warhawks, they can only think of getting access to natural resources not through trade or negotiations or international partnerships, but through the United States military going in and demand that American companies be the ones extracting their metals and oil and all of the natural resources of their land. This has been the history of the United States, profiting off of stealing land and stealing natural resources, and the media always being there to defend these giant corporations as they pillage the land. And now the media is trying to attack Joe Biden for giving the Taliban a list of names of green card holders and American citizens in Afghanistan. Like it or not, the Taliban is the government of Afghanistan now. And if Joe Biden wants to get citizens out safely, he has to be cutting deals with the Taliban in order to make sure that they are getting through safely. That means identifying who the people are, making sure that they have safe passage to the airport, and getting them out of the country. That means cooperation between the United States and the Afghani government as we transition to this new system that Afghanistan is dealing with. This is the absolute ridiculousness that is the media. They are willing to bend over backwards to defend anything that Joe Biden does, unless, of course, it threatens the profits of giant companies. The future of Afghanistan should be up to the people of Afghanistan. It shouldn't be up to the United States, and we have no responsibility and no right to go into Afghanistan and tell them what to do. So yes, Joe Biden did give a list of names of Americans to the Taliban, but it's all part of a deal to help evacuate people. If there's an international crisis that results, it should be dealt with diplomatically, not with guns or tanks or bombs. Last week, the Taliban agreed to a deal to help people get out of Afghanistan who wanted to leave. The people who were American citizens and green card holders, those refugees, the Taliban agreed to let the United States military have the Kabul airport for a brief period of time in order to get those refugees out. We are taking that opportunity, and Joe Biden is making whatever deals he can to make sure that he can get refugees out. Should more of this have been in place earlier? Yes. But ultimately, you can't be upset at Joe Biden doing the best he can operating with a foreign government where he simply has to negotiate. I'm not even a Joe Biden fan. This is just a good decision that he made. Literally, I criticize Joe Biden almost every single day, and yet here I am defending him because he has actually done something good that the left and progressives should be supporting. Pulling out of Afghanistan was good. There's no reason for us to continue this war. This has been Carollo with Rebel Headquarters. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date with my content.